Hi Matthew, so your Thrawn hunters are all finished, so I was just going to run you through a few details about them. There's a few bits to know about them. So there they are. So the first things, the bits that come with them, this is the little pouch that all the brass chassis parts came in. So you've got, that's the box that the batteries came in. There is actually that screw from your scavenger. I forgot to include that with the scavenger. It replaces the switch one. It's basically, that's what comes with the hilt normally, and we replace it so that when we fit a chassis in it for the switch to work. But anyway, it's in there. So there's 3 Allen keys in here, which we're going to need in a second. And also, those are the 2 kill keys that come with the Goth chassis, but I wasn't wild about them, so I've made you new ones, which are a bit more sort of robust, a bit beefier. So yeah, so we'll just open one up because they both basically operate on the same sort of principle. So there she is. So obviously you've got your stock NeoPixel blade connector in there. Just be careful when you're putting this on, especially if it's powered, that you don't want to touch the metal on any of the pins. It's alright if the kill key's in, but just be careful about it if it's powered up. So to open it up, now the first thing to know, when these kits were coming out, there was a batch of Profi boards which we think had there was one component in them built to a marginal spec, and occasionally they would boot up and wouldn't find the SD card. And I noticed it a couple of times on one of these. I can't remember if it was the long one or the short one. It threw the error. All you do is put the kill key back, try it again, and it works. But it's just occasionally you'll get that error. See if it does it.
A Mandalorian and a Jedi.
It's fine.
They'll never see it coming.
But just to be aware of, there isn't really a fix for it. It's just a niggle, but it's only a small thing. Put that back in for the time being. So to open it up, I'll take the middle sized of the 3 Allen keys. Take that screw out. There we go. And then the pommel comes off. And then, using obviously the large Allen key, take that one off. And then you can just lift off the panel. Now the first thing you'll notice under here, there's a little foam pad. It's just to stop the hatch for the crystal flapping about when it's on. Actually, this one's quite stiff, but on the other one, it's the hatch is quite loose. But there is our crystal chamber hatch with the rotating plasma gate. So yeah, as you can see, Goth did do an amazing job on it. Lightly weathered, nothing too heavy, but just so it doesn't look sort of box fresh from the factory, and actually looks like it was it's been used. So we pull the kill key.
Where is your master?
We get our animation start. So we've got an extra LED on the board there. Got an animation at the back. We've also got this panel comes away. There's the Profi. You can see there's a little sort of protective film over there. Metal and electronics make me nervous, so I added that, and a little diffuser on the metal panel there. I'm reaching around my phone to do this, not that easy. So that just stays in with magnets. So then to spark it up, exactly the same button setup as your scavenger. Short click and let go to light it. And then we get a sort of warning LEDs lighting. We get a rotating plasma gate. It's all in there. And then after a few seconds, it all starts glowing red hot in the middle. And then when you shut it off, you just press and hold. The red heat starts to cool down. The warning lights keep warning while it's cooling, and then once the heat is gone and it's safe, then you get the sort of, safety lights light up again. So yeah, there are various other animations, but that's my particular favourite. So let's get a blade in there. I'll rest it on here so that so I don't lean it on the button and ignite it. So let's take that out. And then in the box you've also got these two These are the blade holders, effectively. And just screw into the. Again, just being careful not to touch any metal on the pins. And then, actually, let's put the panel back on first. Screw in there, so no need to over tighten anything. Sorry, this is tricky reaching around my phone to do this. Right, the blade. Now, in terms of blade lengths, there are two commonly used sizes for KR strips: 132 pixels and 122. So if you've had your blades a while, that's probably what they are. KR has since come out with a shorter one, but I think your blades are going to predate that. So I've programmed the long hilt for 132 and the short hilt for 122. If your short hilt blade is shorter than that, it'll still work. It's just tip drag effects might not show up exactly right. So slide it up again. Short. Let's get rid of that. Short click and let go. And we get our white blade now. And we've got all our usual effects: blaster blocks, clashes. Lockups, obviously press and hold and initiate clash. Now, in terms of the blade colour, as any student of photography will tell you, white is a bit of a movable feast because it depends on ambient light conditions and other things. So what I've done, your first font, Sorcerer by Cyberphonics, I think it was, there's two fonts in one actually. I've programmed different types of white onto that you can change yourself, punctuated by blue and then three more whites and then red, so that you can kind of navigate and know where you are, which white you're on. So yeah, just so you can sort of get it sort of completely set for wherever you're going to display it or whatever. The blade and the crystal change together; they're both programmed the same. And then once these fonts are then basically repeated, numbers 3 and 4, with a normal color change that I build into all my sabers. And then the same with your Code Fulcrum there, which is another Ahsoka font, and then all the rest of the normal freebies that are always included. So yeah, as I say, white is a bit of a movable piece, so I've sort of built in that sort of flexibility into it. Obviously, charge port there, you won't need to remove the battery at all, and probably boards these days, they don't drain very quickly. The LEDs inside will shut down after half an hour of inactivity. So yeah, so that is your Thrawn Hunter. Enjoy.